on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
Zooming through the sky, little Einsteins. Climb aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find, little Einsteins. Oh hey, I'm your instructor for today, explaining the arrangement of stars in a group. And Cloud will explain the famous constellations. Oh hey, look at those. Those are shapes that are formed by a group of stars. You will notice that groups of stars form patterns or figures. These patterns that which are seen in the sky are called constellations. Aren't they pretty? As defined by the International Astronomical Union in the early 20th century, a constellation is an area of celestial sphere composed of stars that appear to be located close together in the sky, and forms imaginary outlines and patterns that represents different kinds of animals, objects, or people, and mostly named after Greek and Roman mythologies.
The constellations are called sterism. The example of asterism is the Big Dipper, a constellation that is quite common as it was even featured on the Alaskan flag.
Astronomers officially recognize 88 constellations distributed in the entire space which can be viewed from the north to south hemispheres. It is assumed that the ancient constellation makers probably meant for them to become symbolic, as most of the names given were from heroes, stories, or people, which makes the constellation a Hall of Fame.
Fun fact, the 88 constellations are divided into two groups, 44 in the north and 44 in the south equator.
The Big Dipper is a part of the constellation of Ursa Major. As the Earth rotates, you can watch Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and other constellations circle Polaris. They are called circumpolar constellations.
Circumpolar constellations are constellations that move in the counterclockwise direction.
I know you guys have been waiting to see some of the famous constellations.
Here is Orion. It is one of the most prominent star patterns in the sky. It is known as the Hunter, located on the celestial equator and visible throughout the world. Ursa Major, it is also known as the Big Bear, and is one of the most famous constellations. It can also be seen all year to those who's at the northern altitude of the Earth. Its family includes 10 constellations circling the northern celestial pole.
This is Cassiopeia. According to Ian Ripdath's Star Tales, Cassiopeia was a vain and boastful wife of King Cepheus of Ethiopia, who lives next to her in the sky. They are the only husband and wife among the constellations, and appears to be one of the brightest stars in the northern hemisphere.
Here's a cool one, Draco. A myth claims that Draco is always visible in the northern hemisphere, but not in the southern hemisphere. His name Draco means the dragon, is derived from Latin term draconem, meaning huge serpent.
Here is Hercules, a constellation named after a Greek hero, Heracles, who is the greatest of the Greek heroes. This constellation belongs to one of the 47 originals plotted by Ptolemy. We seem to not have much time left before we go. Thank you for standing by. Goodbye.
Bye!